a family survive if you miss a paycheck? What about two? We saw what happened to hundreds of thousands of federal workers who had to go weeks without getting paid. Joining me now with the 4 things you need to know to weather a financial storm is Dan Geltrude. Dan, good to see you. You're a CPA, the author of Positive Financial Karma. So, Dan, what is the first thing you advise people? Because as we saw, the advice to so many federal workers is, just have a garage sale. You'll be fine. Go to the grocery store and say you'll pay them later. I would imagine your advice is better than that.
Yeah, I don't think those pieces of advice are going to work so well, Susan. Look, the first place that you need to start is with a budget. You need to know what your assets are and what your liabilities are in terms of what I own, what I owe. But then the next critical step is, what's my income and what are my expenses? Unlike the federal government, which we just saw $22 trillion in debt, we need to know what's coming in and what's going out, and we have to operate within that. We can't just print our own money like the government. We have to make sure that we're fiscally responsible. So it really starts with the discipline to know that you can't spend more than what you have coming in each week or each month.
Well, what if someone says to you, Dan, it's impossible, I live paycheck to paycheck? Can everyone save, even if it's just a little bit? Do you say put aside or cut back on, let's say you get Starbucks every day? Don't do that. There's ways to cut down?
There are always ways to cut down, Susan. You really have to go into a state of mind to say, I am going to have the discipline to really look at my income and my expenses and say, what is it that I really need? What money do I absolutely have to spend? And you have to work within that framework. So I would say there are always areas that people can cut back just a little bit so that they can start to create that emergency fund for these types of situations that we're talking about.
And the payoff is good, literally, and your book is called Positive Financial Karma. Do you find that people feel better about themselves and feel more secure in life when they do have that nest egg?
There's no question about it. Anytime someone has that cushion, that little bit put away for a rainy day, they're always going to feel a lot more positive that they can weather the storm. Look, you need to try to put money away and for a rainy day, and that requires discipline. It has to be habitual, where you're going to make sure that you're allocating some funds to say, at some point in time, I may need this, and it's critical to put that money aside. And what I tell people, at a minimum, you got to have 3 to 6 months put aside to make sure that when that rainy day hits, you can survive it.
And the discipline equals security. Dan, thank you so much.
Thank you, Susan.
I'm going to cut back, I promise, on that Starbucks.